It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news. This is the Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy Silverado, the official truck of the outdoors.
I can still remember like it was yesterday, the very first big largemouth bass I ever saw caught. I was fishing with my dad, Carol, Lake Monticello in northeast Texas, when he caught a largemouth that weighed almost 9 pounds. What did that bass strike? A jerkbait. In these days, most fishermen have gone to a new style of jerkbait, a soft plastic jerkbait like this one. But on today's show, we pull an old standby classic out of the tackle box and revisit the standard hard-bodied jerkbait like this one. Our laboratory for today's show is Lake Athens, one of my favorite bass lakes over in East Texas. It's good year-round, and we will demonstrate today how to fish the jerkbait and hopefully catch a few largemouth bass. And while we're doing that, we're taking you around the region for your very latest fishing reports from Oklahoma, Louisiana, Texas freshwater, and down on the Gulf Coast in Texas saltwater. Also on this week's Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week, we'll show you a potential vacation or long weekend destination at Table Rock Lake in southwest Missouri. We'll have your big catch of the week, your big fish photos, the Ask the Pro feature, the Academy Right Stuff, and much more. But first, let's take you back to the FSN studios for your Chevy weekend planner.
The weekend fishing tables indicate good fishing for both Saturday and Sunday. Peak times will begin in the mornings around 9 o'clock and end around 2 in the afternoon. The sun will rise at 6:30 and set at 8:19, and the moon will be 92% illuminated. And I also want to mention that there are quite a few Chevy Kid Fish events planned for the state of Texas this Saturday. Activities will be taking place in Navasota, Mesquite, Brownsville, Frisco, and Conroe. Visit the website for more details. We're coming right back with Gary Dollahan and a fishing update from Oklahoma, plus all the latest from around the region.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy, is brought to you by Chevy Silverado, the official truck of the outdoors. Buy quality award-winning Tracker boats. Fish the finest. Lowrance, maker of the HDS, high-definition systems, and Academy. Right stuff, low price, every day.
Hey, welcome back everybody to your Southwest Outdoors Report, and I will tell you that I have already cheated today. I've been fishing for a couple of hours before the camera crew got here, and I've already caught several nice quality bass like that one. Believe it or not, I've caught a couple of big crappie like that one. So Lake Athens is a fantastic destination for both species of fish. We'll let these go back. Whoa, he's still got lots of fight left in him. There goes the crappie. Well, I've actually got a couple of more bass and one more nice crappie back here in my Nitro Z8 live well. I'll throw those back in just a moment. But first, let's get you set up. We're going to show you how to fish the jerkbait, how to choose the water, and a couple of little quick tips that'll make you more efficient with this bait. We'll try to catch a few of those kinds of bass as well. But first, let's get to our Oklahoma Fishing and Lake Reports. Here's Gary Dollahan with the story.
As most Oklahoma anglers know by now, we have a lot of water in the eastern part of the state at this time. Before you hit one of those bodies of water, I suggest you go to thebasszone.com, go down to the bottom of the home page, look for the button that says Oklahoma Lake Levels, click on that, and then go to the lake that you're interested in, click on it. You're going to find the Corps of Engineers water report, and don't just look at the lake level, look at the trend, whether the water is coming up or going down. That's going to help you decide what you should be doing on that day. If it's coming up, go to the banks, the steepest part where you can get to the actual shoreline or structure to fish. If it's going down, back out into the closest cover in a channel or to the closest break line. A big worm, a pitch and bait like the biffle bug, a spinner bait, or a buzz bait are great choices this time of year. If you're confused on what to be doing, go to the riprap. It's always a great way to fish if the water's coming up or going down. Also this time of year, the catfishing is really good because there is current going through the water. Flatheads, blue cats, channel cats are all being caught. Hard to beat live shad for all those species, and of course cut shad is a great option for your blues and your channel cats. If you don't like to mess with the rising water, falling water, pick many of our lakes that are still at or below normal levels. Even nearby Keystone Lake here in the Tulsa area is about normal. Great place to go right now. One thing about it, you can't catch them if you don't go.
This week on your Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week, I've got a suggestion that's a little further away, but might be a great vacation or long weekend destination for you if you're looking for something a little out of the ordinary. It's a place where you can go and catch several species of fish at one lake. It's Table Rock Lake, located south of Springfield near Branson, Missouri. Let's locate it for you on the Lowrance HDS 10. It's just west of Branson, about an hour south of Springfield, down US 65. One of my favorite resorts on the lake is just outside Branson. It's Big Cedar Lodge. It's a great place to stay, lots to do. Take the kids. Now we zoom down for a tighter look at the lake. It's large, 52,000 surface acres and 800 miles of shoreline. There are fingers running off in every direction, as you can see. We highlight the Long Creek arm of the lake on the southeast end, and we switch to the Navionics Hot Maps Platinum chart for all the detailed contours. We locate Big Cedar Resort in this area, and the main channel snakes northward for miles. We zoom one more time to show you that the channel itself is very deep, over 100 feet deep in the middle. There are steep cliffs on either side of the lake that hold largemouth, smallmouth, and spotted bass all spring and summer and fall, and you can catch white bass, crappie, and an occasional walleye or striper. And one other thing I love about Table Rock Lake is that it's very clear. It's a great lake to catch bass on the jerkbait like we're demonstrating on today's show. Stay with us. Cajun Phil and Kevin are up next from Louisiana.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy, is brought to you by Stren, the standard of dependability, by Jean LaRue Lures and Bobby Garland Baits, quality soft plastic baits made in Oklahoma with American pride. Chevy Silverado, the official truck of the outdoors, and Mercury Marine.
Wind, wind, and more wind. There's one. Oh, there he is up on top. There's one out here. Let's just ski the rest of the way in. Up you come. Oh, look at the little fat belly on that dude right there. Hey, welcome back everybody. Your Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy. It's talking about old classic jerkbait fishing today. We set it all up at the beginning of the show, and there's a healthy little Lake Athens specimen right there. We're gonna put him back. And let me tell you right now, in this game of jerkbait bass fishing, the wind is your friend. And I wanna show you something. On that side of the lake, protected from the south wind, it's very calm. Notice where I've chosen. I've come over here in the windiest side of the lake where there's a lot of wave action. On this jerkbait, you're trying to get a reaction strike. This thing comes across the top of their head just about 2 feet under the surface. All those waves are breaking up the light and churning up a lot of oxygen and mud and grass off the bottom, and the fish just see it and they bite it before they ever get a chance to realize what's going on. They're not biting it necessarily because they're hungry. They're biting it just as an instinct because they're a bass. Choose the windy side when you're fishing a jerkbait. Let's check in right now with Cajun Phil and Kevin over in Louisiana.
Hi friends, Cajun Phil here with your Fox Louisiana Fish Report. I want to talk about white perch right now because it's really on what they call Lake Lorto. That's close to Alexandria, Louisiana. If you haven't been there, you need to give it a try. Lots and lots of white perch being caught right now. They've been caught on what they call a little tiny. It's made by Bass Assassin. One of the better colors, solid black with a chartreuse tail. Right now, Lorto Lake around Alexandria is a good place to go if you're looking for white perch. I tell you what, as far as the saltwater action goes, wow. I just talked to Tofield Bourgeois a while ago, and he said all the guys down there are catching lots of speckled trout in Barry Bay. But he said Cajun, right now in the shallow water marshes, they're catching fantastic redfish. They're using two lures that catch them on top water, which is always fun, and they throw in a spinnerbait. Behind the spinnerbait, what they're doing is they putting either a purple and chartreuse tail saltwater sassat or a black and chartreuse tail. Behind a spinnerbait, they're catching lots and lots of redfish right now. As far as the speckled trout, well, he said they were hitting on a bait called chicken on a chain, made by saltwater sassat. So right now, The feed area is on fire for speckled trout and redfish. I talked to Todd Seymour. He's down there near Homer, Louisiana. He's catching lots and lots of them. He said right now the speckled trout over there are just annihilating the chicken on the chain, so it looks like that's a good bait to get. He said they're feeding on brown shrimp. So undoubtedly this resembles a brown shrimp good enough to where they're jumping all over. Right now, fishing's pretty good just about everywhere here in the state of Louisiana. Come on down, whether you want to go bass fishing, speckled trout fishing, or red fishing. Till next time, this is Cajun Phil saying happy fishing and may God bless, and we'll see you next week.
There's another one. Hit my jerk bait right here in front of the boat. Another decent fish. Barely got the hook. Oh, but I got him. Oh, well, I had him. Now I've got him. Okay, hey, let me show you one other thing real quick. There's another nice bass for you. I want to show you something about fishing a jerkbait. Look here in front of me. Nothing. Wide open lake, and that fish came out of nowhere and hit it. A jerkbait will draw a strike when there's no cover anywhere around. All we've got out here is a little bit of scattered grass. I've caught them as shallow as 3 feet and as deep as 100 feet up at Lake Washita in Arkansas when the water is real clear. For some reason, this bait wobbling back and forth above their heads will draw a strike upwards even when there's no cover anywhere around. So you don't need to be fishing the shoreline. You don't need to be throwing at trees or stumps or logs or laydowns. You can go down a bank and fish open water and catch bass in places where nobody else is fishing. That's my little tip right there on where to find them with a jerkbait. Stay with us. When we come back, Brian Hughes is up next with your Texas freshwater fishing report, the Lone Star Lakes, followed by Bill Olson. He's on the phone.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy, is brought to you by Abu Garcia for life. By Navionics. Enjoy Navionics anytime, anywhere. By Whataburger. Just like you like it. And by Motor Guide Trolling Motors.
Got one. Once again, wide open, out here in the middle of the waves. All right, as soon as I get this fish on, I'm gonna show you how to work a jerkbait. There's really a technique to it. Here we go. All right. Boy, they are fat, healthy little fish here at Lake Athens, and that one's got a mouthful of my chartreuse jerkbait. There we go. Well, it's hooked at my glove, but that's all right. There's the bass right there. We'll let him go back. And I want to show you something. Here's how you work a jerkbait. You want to make a big long cast, long as you can make. I'm throwing downwind, rod tip down, click your reel into gear, and you go jerk, pause, jerk, jerk, pause, jerk, pause, jerk, jerk. Very erratic. Nothing really in rhythm. Change it up all the time, but always put those pauses in there, and always keep your rod tip down. That drives the bait down deeper. And a little bit later, oh, I got another one. All right, well, we're fixing to take it to the Lone Star Lakes. Oh, that's another nice chunk right there. I'll show you on the Academy Right Stuff at the end one other little trick that I use to help get this jerkbait down deeper. But this is an incredible way to catch bass. While I get this one unhooked, you are going to the rest of the freshwater fishing reports in the state of Texas. Here's Brian Hughes with your Lone Star Lakes.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by realrecovery.org. Last week we were out west. This week we're going to go to the northeastern part of the state and start with Lake Wright-Patman, where bass are pulling off after the spawn and raiding bluegill beds. Now you can catch one of the biggest fish of your life during this time of year by fishing bluegill colored and shaped lures. That is, spinnerbaits in blue chartreuse or crankbaits in bluegill type colors, and fish those about 3 to 5 feet around those bluegill beds. You may catch a big female bass looking to get even with those nasty bluegill for predating her eggs when she was on a bed. Also in the east, we have Bob Sandlin, where bass are also pulled off after the spawn. but they've gone a little bit deeper to the first drop around the creek edges, and they're feeding on shad. Use your rattle traps, shad-colored spinnerbaits, or deep divers to catch those Bob Sandlin bass on those creek edges. And finally, Lake Livingston, great catfishing in the shallows. Still, use your prepared baits or cut live bait for Livingston cats. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, Texas Outdoors Journal brings you this week's report. For the very best monthly coastal and inland fishing information, plus year-round hunting tips, check out our award-winning magazine. Pick up a copy of TOJ on newsstands or subscribe securely at the website on the screen. Well, it looks as though the strong spring winds that have plagued the Texas coast are finally starting to moderate. By that, I mean instead of winds that blow 20 to 30 miles an hour, are now backing off to the mid-teens and sometimes even lower. Early and late in the day are the best times. With the lighter winds, waters are starting to clear along the grassy areas of the middle and lower coast. However, we're still seeing late arriving cool fronts that create a wind shift, so anglers continue to fish protected shorelines based on the direction the wind is blowing. From the north end of the land cut, around Penascal Point, over to the Badlands, the mouth of Baffin Bay is starting to show its springtime style, giving up some trophy specks. Behind North Padre Island, potholes in grass beds are great places to drift for specks and reds. Now, out of Port Isabel and behind South Padre Island, the same scenario is playing out. And Longbar continues to give up good trout and the occasional redfish to those fishing live bait or soft plastics. With the lighter winds, some boats have also been able to head offshore where early arriving kingfish, ling, and snapper in state waters await. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides each day. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
Okay, here's your next little quick tip on casting a jerkbait. One of the things you want to be sure and do is leave about 2 feet of line hanging off the end of your rod, spinning or bait cast, before you make that cast. That bait is so light and it's so long that it will catch the wind, it'll kill your cast. So leave about 2 feet hanging off, sling the bait, and you can make a much longer cast with a jerkbait than any other method. Coming up next, I've got your Academy Right Stuff. We'll have your Ask the Pro and your big fish photos on the big catch of the week.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by Chevy, is brought to you by Academy. Right stuff, low price, every day. Nitro Performance Bass Boats. Fish your best in a Nitro. Costa Del Mar Sunglasses. See what's out there. And by Chevy Silverado, the official truck of the outdoors.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time now for our Ask the Pro feature. Our question this week is from Chris in Houston, who wants to know, how does barometric pressure affect fishing? For the answer, let's ask Bass Fishing Hall of Fame member, Guy Ager.
I think it's one of the biggest things that people overlook. I've fished these tournaments for 36, 37, almost 37 years. And it seems like every time you have a low pressure, it's like it turns the fish loose, they eat, they feed. High pressure puts them down there real tight and they're hard to catch. You got to adjust. That's a lot of times you can catch them on top water when low pressure comes in and they're real active. Then when that high pressure comes in, you got to take a jig or a tube or something and put it down in there and feed it to it. So it means a lot.
Thanks, Guy. If you have a question for one of the pros, just visit our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com, click on the Ask the Pro link, and send us your information. Now let's get you over to Barry for the Whataburger Big Catch of the Week.
Our winner this week on the Whataburger Big Catch of the Week is Matt Palisano of Chickasha, Oklahoma. He's shown here proudly displaying an 8-pound, 9-ounce largemouth bass he caught at Lake Falcon, south of Laredo on the Texas-Mexico border. If you'd like to submit your big fish photo and have the possibility of having it seen here on our show, just go to our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com. Top right of the front page, you'll need to sign up to become a member of our fan club. It's all free. You'll have access to the members only area, including a place to send us your big fish photo. On this week's Academy Right Stuff, let's talk about the tackle we used today. First of all, the rod is one of the brand new white Abu Garcia Veritas rods. It's a 6.5 footer, medium heavy action. You want a little backbone when you're popping that rod tip on a jerkbait. This is the brand new Abu Garcia Revo Premier high speed reel. It's a brand new product, brand new Revo. Got it spooled up with 12-pound test Stren original line. You don't want to go too heavy on a jerkbait, so it'll go deeper. And here's the jerkbait. It's a standard 6-inch size, but here's the tip. You can see that I've actually wrapped some weight strands around the front 2 hooks. That adds a little weight to the bait, helps it get down a little bit deeper, not float up nearly as fast, and helps me cast it further in the wind. If you'll use this setup, you'll have a great opportunity to fish a jerkbait properly and your best chance to catch a nice-sized largemouth bass like the ones we caught today on Lake Athens. It's a great little fishing lake in East Texas. Hey, we'll see you next week. Our show airs at 10:30 p.m. Thursday night, and you can check the front page of our website for updates all week in case of late changes to the schedule. And we'll be on Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. Be sure and set your DVR or TiVo for the Saturday morning airing because it never changes. You can always watch the latest episode of our show 24/7 on the front page of our website, and you can watch all the past episodes at our YouTube channel, and you can link to it from the front page of the website as well. And finally, check us out on Facebook for lots of video clips, photos, and much more information that you do not see on the television show. That's it from here, from Lake Athens. I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.